Life of the Party is a new comedy starring the always comical Melissa McCarthy as a divorced mom that goes back to college with her daughter. Now this is part of a new genre that people are calling mom-coms.
McCarthy gives it her all as the character of Deanna, but even that isn't enough to save this lackluster movie. After, 2 hours of drawn-out predictability, her over-the-top charisma starts to fade.
I like seeing Melissa McCarthy in short bursts. Megan in Bridesmaids, very funny. Sean Spicer on SNL, hilarious. It's when she's the star of the film that I start to lose interest.
The supporting cast is filled with other comedy greats. You have SNL alumni Maya Rudolph, who is hysterical as Deanna's drunk and sex-crazed best friend. And you also have Stephen Root, who's great yelling about ham sandwiches as Deanna's dad.
Everything about the comedy felt old-fashioned, which maybe works for a mom-com? I mean, there was even a Christina Aguilera cameo, which felt like it came straight out of the 90s.
The biggest problem with this movie is a total lack of conflict. It starts off with Deanna getting divorced, having midlife crisis, but after that, there's absolutely nothing that stands in her way. You have the initial premise, but then everything after that, it was just like SNL skit after SNL skit after SNL skit, with, Melissa McCarthy playing a mom with a bunch of college kids in different scenarios. There's no real drama or, any kind of what will happen next scenarios.
There are some slow moments in the movie which makes it drag a bit, but then there's some hilarious scenes that are funny because of the information learned from the slow scenes, so it builds.
The stereotypical divorce movie plot points all make an appearance here, with some leading to funny bits, especially when Maya Rudolph is involved. However, most of the story elements it comes off as forced. A problem is presented in one scene and then immediately solved in the next scene simply by talking it out with the girls. Yeah, if only a midlife crisis was that simple to solve. There were even some stereotypical college movie elements, with the mean girls talking trash about the protagonist who eventually overcome their differences.
The only action in this movie is a chick fight at the end of the film between these two sorority girls, but it's like a PG-13 hair-pulling, shrieking action. Not what I wanted to see. No. It wasn't the best comedy I've ever seen, but I laughed enough to feel satisfied. 7 out of 10.
It comes down to this. Do you like Melissa McCarthy enough to watch her play an SNL character for 2 straight hours? I like her, but not that much. 5 out of 10.
A sadly predictable movie with a few funny scenes of McCarthy that would have been great as standalone shorts. 4 out of 10. There was no conflict! None! How can a movie not have conflict? 0 out of 10.
The chicks pulling each other's hair out? Nah, that don't count. There is no action whatsoever in this comedy. 0 out of 10.
We here at Who's Review give Life of the Party the overall rating of a long SNL skit. Now the premise, the cast, the amount of laughs, it'll make you feel like you're watching a long SNL skit that just keeps dragging on. Now if you're a fan of Melissa McCarthy's brand of comedy, and you don't mind a story that's a bit predictable, well, you'll get a few good laughs out of it. Well, that's our review. What do you think? Are we right on? Way off? Let us know in the comment section below and we'll check it out and respond. As always, if you want to stay up to date on all things Who's Review, make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and most importantly of all, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We thank you guys for checking us out here at Who's Review, where everyone is a critic. Not sure what happened at the end there. It'll work. That works.